Hey guys, welcome back, and we got an interesting challenge here. We got some new people. Blinking light. My name is written as Tachibana Hotaru on my passport. Most people know me as Hotaru. It is also my moniker. Been written in hiragana and hung over the door of my room in the Okiya. The Geisha Okiya, located in Shinjuku 4 in Tokyo, was where I grew up. On a moonless night, I was still a newborn baby, had been left at the back door of the Okiya. I was wrapped in a piece of plain white cloth, where was a glass jar with fireflies on it next to me. The faint blinking lights of the fireflies had grabbed the attention of a sister who had coming back late. That's also how I got my name. Since then, the sisters of the Okiya had become my family. And that day, July the 9th, became my birthday. I showed a talent for dancing and performing since I was very young. The mama of the Okiya wanted to send me far away to kabuki school, but I didn't want to leave the Okiya. After some arguments and compromises, I became a male geisha. It was not something particularly uncommon in the past, but in contemporary Japan it was almost unheard of. Still, rules are made by people. My long-time paper fan kimono, shamisen, and my family were entirely my world. It was saving my life. A stormy evening, Kizumi-kai was holding a banquet for our place, welcoming some guests to come home away from China. Menacing bodyguards in black suits are everywhere, from the gate to the backyard. A lot of them had suspicious bulge on their waists. I was told those were concealed guns. Kizumi-kai was both a stakeholder in and protector of our Okiya. It was also the most powerful gang in the Shinjuku area. The Okiya had prepared many performances this night. No mistakes would be allowed. The opening act was Plum Blossom Creek, a dance that I had performed numerous times before. However, on that night, I'd caught a little cold. I wasn't feeling too well. The atmosphere feeling so tense in the room, I was so nervous I accidentally flung a fan out my hand into the middle of a dance. The fan hit the head of a guest, and fell into a boiling pea pot in front of him. The entire room became a deadly silent, but a young Chinese boy sitting in the corner of the table burst out laughing. Kizumi-kai's men were outraged. I immediately dropped to my knees and begged for forgiveness. I was trembling from head to toe, too scared to even look up. One of them had already released his safety on his gun while I was laughing. The young man said something. I couldn't understand what he'd said, but it must have been something nice. He had become a saviour of my life. Our story had a fairy tale beginning. We didn't get the best ending. 2 years ago, he died. I only heard about it later by accident from some of the customers. We also said it had been a suicide. It couldn't be possible. I began to regret a lot of things. It was always him who would come to Japan to visit me, but I'd never gone to Hong Kong to visit him. We'd only met 2 or 3 times a year, only for a few days each time. He would often tell me in advance. Every time was a surprise. Sometimes I would fantasise about it when he was not with me. I'd think to myself, maybe if he was in Japan, maybe he would suddenly appear in front of me. Last time Takimi was on his trip to Tottori with my sisters, so we missed each other. But I never would have thought it would be my last chance to ever see him. He killed himself while I was away. I couldn't let him die like this, against the objections of my sisters. Packed all my belongings and savings and came to Hong Kong. Finally managed to escape his housekeeper, who had always been looking after him. Housekeeper accompanied him to Japan a couple of times. We met a few times and I knew I could trust him. He told me he would never believe his young master would have committed suicide. He knew someone wanted him young master dead, but didn't have enough proof. The Lin family was a huge clan, but had grown to have too many factions in fighting. If he wanted someone gone, he made sure he had sufficient evidence against him, or he killed him. Was that somebody responsible? To find out the truth, I needed more information and more money. Spending some time on the street looking for clues, I had an idea. I bribed a few cops to arrest me for something I'd made up, just so I could be sent to Hong Kong Central Prison. In here, not only would I take care of my room and board, I could make lots more money, collect more information. Everyone in the prison had their own value to me. So were you, worth hundreds of bucks I could win off him in a bet. It was a matter of power and connections. The drunk and barely coherent prison guard who was standing in front of me right this moment fell into a latter group. His name was Morgan. Were we not just together? Did you already miss me, sweet baby? He was supposed to be doing a roll call tonight, so I got me drunk earlier, hoping he would be sleeping it off. Who knew he would be out wandering doing drugs again? His deeply sedated brain was probably making him unable to think anymore. Nevertheless, him being here was still a problem for us. I had to be calm. Poured my cap lower. Care for a drink? Hold on a sec. He unzipped his pants, starting doing his thing without even turning away. Oh no, that was... oh god. I heard someone cough from the window. I Carlos, you idiot. We're so screwed. I should not have agreed to help Eddie escape. I've been in cell 28 for a long time. At first it was just me. Soon I found a hole under a bottom bunk bed which was big enough for a person to escape. Perhaps someone else had tried to escape from here, but for some reason he had to abort, therefore leaving a hole behind. Like this, and without being escorted by the guards. I thought it was a blessing from the gods, giving me an exit strategy like this. Once I had enough money, I could just disappear without a trace. Never revealed my secret to anyone else. Never would I imagine my plan would be ruined by someone like Carlos. Don't know he'd want to switch out from me for sale even after winning the card game. I had no choice but to tell him the truth. One thing led to another, and ended up being a prison break involving 3 people. Damn it. I shouldn't have told him. I just made up some other excuse. Interesting. My name is Pie. It's not my real name, but everyone kept calling me that, so I decided to take it. Sometimes I wonder if God had unfortunately have abandoned me, but I knew there were many other people in this world who might be as unfortunate as me, even more so. I was determined to look for them, approach them, and seek out a culprit who had turned their lives into living nightmares. I would never be a god, but I was the deliverer of God's punishment. Evil deserved to be punished, and the unfortunate deserved to be salvaged. For a sin of revenge, let me be the sole bearer of his wrath. However, I had begun to gradually realise the evil in me humans was almost like a bacteria or a virus. It could be everywhere. It could dwell in a dark, humid, disgusting back alley, or loud, ecstatic pub, or joyful, innocent elementary school. I can still remember lust at my PE teachers when he mentioned his students. It was sickening, stomach-turning. Even though I kept eliminating one after another, I was running into a next foul bastard hiding in another evasive corner of the city. Finally came to a conclusion after my activities being published in the papers. So tracking them down one by one, a more effective way was to deter them with fear. Last target on the other outside had been an unemployed young man who had accidentally run into on the street. Picked up a newspaper which had dropped, and there was a story about someone molesting young children in it. That someone was him. It grabbed my attention and decided to follow him for a while. As it turned out, he was clearly not a paedophile. The article was just gossip it had been planted by someone who wanted to slander him. Still, I figured if I left my smiley signature next to his paedophilic young man, as the press called him, it would become another viral story in the media for sure. And the real pervert would certainly think twice before committing any more atrocities. Maybe then they'd be scared shitless and they wouldn't dare go outside. My logic was impeccable. My luck wasn't, and things didn't turn out the way I was planned. Life in prison wasn't so bad. There were plenty of evil men who'd done received a much less serious sentence than what they deserved. Occasionally I would send a couple of them to hell in the name of justice. However, for every day I had to stay in prison, more evil went unchecked in the world outside. The thought made me feel anxious every single day when I was in here. Therefore, the moment I heard Carlos mention prison break, I immediately joined his plan without hesitation. Today was a day of escape. I was guessing we might have run into some trouble. I said guessing because I could see what's going on in the yard where I was standing. Carlos was supposed to follow Taru through a window, and I would follow them. However, Carlos was still lying on a ledge beneath a window. So there was only space for one person. I had to hide myself behind the door. So far, only Hitaru was in the yard. I never fully trusted that shorty. If he dared betray us, we'd not let him get away with this. Right at that instant, I heard the footsteps of a prison guard on night duty. The twins had come back from a patrol. The door squeaked as it pushed open. I held him tightly. There was a syringe in his hand. I checked the neck of a guard in front. I didn't want to kill either of them. There was no reason to punish them. Besides, as long as I could get out of here, there would be nothing they could do about me. I was too careless. This man was too strong when I fought. When my chokehold belly loosened for an instant, he reached his arm backwards and stabbed me in the neck with a syringe. The smell felt familiar to me, and this time it wasn't poisonous syringe, but a strong hallucinogen. Everything before my eyes became bent and twisted, where shapes were tangled together, and then untangled, and restructured again. They morphed into emptiness. There was only me left, standing in the centre of a dark vacuum. A man emerged from the dark. He walked towards me and stopped in front of me, looking down at me coldly. I had oily dark hair and a round belly. He was carrying an empty beer bottle. He could barely stand. "Where's your mother? Did she go to Alex's again?" That was something familiar yet strange growing in my heart. But who was this person? My splitting headaches started up again, as if someone was squeezing my brain. I kept enjoying the pain in my head and pulled out an imaginary gun. I pointed at the already haired man and pulled the trigger. I had a gunshot, but I found myself holding a cooking knife instead. Bloody knife. And standing opposite me split into 2 people, a man and a woman, both with blonde hair and blue eyes, were holding each other intimately. The man seemed a little nervous while the woman had a smirk on her face, so were looking at me dreadfully. She was also holding a gun in her right hand, the same as the one which had just been in my hand. A whistle of grey smoke rising from the tip of my barrel. Bastard. Bastard, bastard, bastard. No! No! I was not a bad child. My brain felt like it was being tumbled with 1,000 knives as we started morphing once again. The pain had spread across my entire body, but it felt like I was drowning in it. I couldn't distinguish the boundary between reality and hallucination anymore. Who on earth were they? Help me. My name is Carlos. I had planned a prison break not too long ago. Besides me, Pai and Hataru were also involved in the plan. We're both inmates at Hong Kong Central Prison just like me, and one night we overcame lots of obstacles and broke into a monitor room. We're so close to freedom. The room had a skylight window with 2 layers. The inside layer was a sliding glass window. On top of that was a window grate to protect the glass. Underneath the window was a small ledge with barely enough for one person. When it was nice, the guards would open up the glass window for ventilation. Must be why the ledge was covered with dirt. Hataru slid the glass window open, pushed the gate aside, and climbed out. I was about to follow him, but he turned around, dropped the grate and stepped on it. What was going on? I was suddenly reminded what Pai told me in private. That little shorty is a sneaky bastard, I don't like him at all. The first time to say that, all I could think was, yeah, you want to talk. I figured he only disliked Hataru for the same reason he disliked people like Kai. But now I realised he might have had a point. Hataru, should we trust him? I would not be surprised if he betrayed us at right this moment. I lay down on the ledge. Through the glass I could see another dark figure joining Hataru, but I couldn't tell who it was. It was probably a prison guard. No other people in the yard of his hour of a day. Hataru was talking to that person. Even through there was only a grate between us, but speaking so quietly I still couldn't hear what they were saying. Should a guard be suspicious about Hataru being there? Maybe Hataru was close enough to him we could just let him go. Or maybe Hataru's plan was all along. The dark figure moved a little. He unzipped his pants and let out a deep breath. Damn it! Two false running yellow water ran upon my head through the grate. It kept going. What the hell was that? Why would anyone pee in public like this? Finally couldn't tolerate the smell anymore and let out a cough. The guard had noticed me. 2 minutes later, surrounded by a dozen prison guards, I pulled up on the ground through a window. I finally saw the face of your man. It was Morgan. After escape failed, we were all sent to solitary cells. Morgan was a drug addict. Pure coincidence which went into him. Morgan being out walking that night, high as a kite. Didn't realise that Tyler was trying to escape when he saw him. It's me who ruined the whole thing. If I could have kept quiet, we might have been able to make it. Okay, we've got a triple here. Oh, baby's a triple. So what do we have to play with? Holding him tightly. Syringe in his hand. This is going to be interesting. I held my breath, pushed back my back against the wall, and grabbed at the door lightly with my hands. As soon as he took one more step, I would... But the man stopped. And then I heard a sound of liquid dripping down to the ground. So a stream of certain yellow through a crack in the door, painting a peculiar map on the ground, set to a guard's whistling. This prison was a place filled with all kinds of perversion and twisted mentality of society. So guards eventually developed nasty habits and coping mechanisms. Sometimes literally. The foul smell from a map was making me dizzy. My mind was trying its best to control myself at this crucial moment. My body betrayed me. I simply could not stand the disgusting sight. I threw up. Undigested dinner was now mixed with yellow blood and ground. It also ended our prison break. A syringe fell out of his hand, went through a grate and somehow jabbed me right into my shoulder. I was in a clean but strange house. Alicia was sitting by my bed looking at me, caressing my hair. Just like she used to. I've not seen her for 9 years. Looked beautiful, we're so young. Alicia, I miss you. Even though I knew it was real, I still couldn't control myself from calling out to her. That's how powerful the drug was. I came to my senses again. I was lying in the medical room. I finally realised the plan had failed. Hold on a second. Morgan took out a syringe and aimed his arm. He needed not go into his arm, he dropped it. Oh no! That was... oh god. When Morgan was wondering where the syringe had gone, voices came out from a window. Carlos, you idiot. We were so screwed. Okay. So you can't have a syringe. You can't have a syringe. Well, that syringe affects both of you, so it can't be you. I saw a figure put a arm around Hotaro's shoulder and say something to him. However, I couldn't hear anything, I was too quiet. But at a moment I heard gunshots coming from the door and monitor room. Let's go. Pulled him close to me and led him to a dark corner. This way Morgan would not notice the other two people. Besides, I was one of the last questions before leaving. The photo you showed me earlier, can you see it again? He stared at me blankly. It took him a while to understand what I was referring to, with his hands inside his jacket. When a gunshot came from the monitor room, it wasn't loud, but Morgan clearly heard it. What were those two doing in there? What if you have a syringe? So if you have nothing, okay, you get something, you're still getting shot. I put my hands through a grate and grabbed the ankles of a guard. Hotaru, run! Didn't know what come over to me to do something like this. The dark figure must have been startled as he lost his balance. He fell and sat on the ground. Hotaru didn't run, he screamed to the figure on the ground. No, don't do it! I'm trying to stop something, and I immediately understood what it was. I only saw the other person's face. Morgan, the guard from Britain, had drawn his gun and was pointing in my face. I heard a gunshot, red and warm dripping over my face. 070912220. The tower lay by a metal grate. His breath was getting weaker and weaker. He kept saying those numbers, maybe a password to his bank account, which I'm going to write down. 070912220. Damn it! You shouldn't tell me. You knew I was too dumb to remember it. Morgan tumbled fell to the ground. I saw a pair of hands. Run! And a mumbled voice from below. Carlos, you idiot. Still need him alive. You died and we'll be able to find that woman. It wasn't for that. There was no way of participating in this stupid escape. Before I even realised it myself, I blocked the window out of my own body. And a gunshot. Something coming out of my chest. This used to say that people who smiled a lot would enjoy good fortune, would always tell me I would put a smile on Ryokia. So I must be a very lucky person. The only thing was, I had used up my lifetime share of luck. On the night when I met him. Well, this is an interesting one. You're going to hold him tightly. How much have you got nothing? Okay. I held my breath and pushed my back against the wall. Footsteps were getting closer. I could even hear the bottom of their boots. I gathered the door lightly with my hands. As soon as he took one more step, I would. The man stopped. The twins were in deepening conversation at the door. They didn't even notice me at all. Nor do I look like we're about to shut the door. I listened more carefully. We seemed to be talking about recent Czechoslovak prison's housing. Then we checked and found all kinds of weapons, gambling chips and drugs in the cells. We found a dance mat. And I mentioned ever since a new ward had been assigned here, Hong Kong Central Prison became more and more corrupted. Back when Warden Chris was in charge, everything in prison had been running quite smoothly, and even though Warden Chris was a strange man too, these days no one here even cared about the inexplicable death of an inmate. If one day something similar happened to someone like a guard, we decided I would be ready to resign just for our own safety. And appeared on the edge of the door, slowly pulled it open. I saw a gun pointing right at me through the open door. As syringe fell out of his hand. It went through the gate and somehow jabbed right into my shoulder. I felt a chill running through my needle to my entire body. What are you looking at, Carlos? Closed my eyes and opened again. Sitting in a huge bright bathhouse. Alicia was giving me a bath, rinsing my hair. I'd not seen her in 9 years. She still looked beautiful, so young. Shampoo smelled so nice. The water felt just right. The bubbling water came down my hair, accidentally went into my nose and mouth. I coughed a little. When a reason more people showed in my bathhouse. Someone was still wearing clothes. One of them pushed me off my stool. When I fell to the ground, I saw Alicia had disappeared. I came to my senses once again. I was lying in the middle of the medical room. Memories I planned had failed. Interesting. So I got most of bad ends. I got one more bad end and one good end. You has lots of bad ends and one good end. Okay. Okay, you holding him tighter will make him run away. Okay. This is a difficult one. Oh. I'll check the neck of a guard in front. I didn't want to kill either of them. There was no reason to punish them. Besides, as long as I could get out of here, there was nothing they could do about me. My fist was no match for a gun. While I was struggling with a gun guard, the twin walks into the room. Hey, what are you doing? Before his gun shot me. Stabbing pain threaded my entire body. I had to let go of his brother and stumbled back against the wall. In the end, we other two were not able to escape either. The plan ended up being a total failure. Interesting. I'm not quite sure how to do this one. I'll think about it and come back next episode, shall I? So thanks for watching, have a wonderful day, and bye-bye.
Super